Well, lots of people know you already, but for others, can you say a few words about your background?
So my background is as a television producer. I call myself a medical producer because my work really was on CBS on the daytime talk show The Doctors that was on CBS. Prior to that, I was also a producer on the Dr. Phil show, so psychiatry, and then they created the Doctors television show. I won an Emmy award on the Doctors, which is the highest award you can get in television production. But while I was doing that show, I was about 6 years on that show. I stumbled onto a story of a whistleblower inside of the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which is our top health agency in government. His name was Dr. William Thompson, and he came forward saying they were committing scientific fraud on the vaccine safety studies, specifically a study of the MMR, the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine that's given to babies and its connection to autism, which is the big question. So I ended up making a documentary called Vaxxed, which swept the world. And many claim that that film sort of ignited this medical freedom movement around the world. So that's what started me out. That film came out in 2016. I was traveling the country and a little bit of the world. I, got to a few other countries with the film. Everywhere we went, people wanted to tell their stories of vaccine injury. And even though my film was only about one vaccine, the MMR vaccine, and one issue, autism, as I was interviewing thousands of parents that were telling their stories, I started realizing that it wasn't just the MMR vaccine. Parents were claiming every single vaccine had injured some child. A flu shot killed my baby, or my child was paralyzed after the Gardasil HPV vaccine, or on and on like that. And so at the end of that year of traveling with the film, I wanted to do a deeper investigation into all the childhood vaccines we give in the United States. So I started a nonprofit called the Informed Consent Action Network. I started my own television show or internet news show that you described, TheHighWire.com. And then I also hired research scientists around the world that knew this issue and lawyers so that I could sue. In this case, in America, we have liability protection, which means you cannot sue the manufacturer of vaccines. I don't know how it is in Croatia, but that makes it hard to find out what they actually know about their own trials, their own studies. Was it safe? Was it not safe? That's how we find out most products are dangerous. Like all the products that get recalled in America, drugs, for instance, like Vioxx, we found out it was causing heart attacks. It was, a pain relief medicine causing heart attacks. And then when they get sued, you find out in their internal emails through discovery that they always knew that it caused heart attacks and they hid it from the public. Well, we've been trying to figure out what the pharmaceutical industry knows about vaccines. So we started suing the government of the United States of America, and we've won more lawsuits against the government than any other health group there is. I've won against the CDC, the National Institute of Health, the FDA, Health and Human Services. So that was really the work that I've been doing over the last, 8 years, since 2016. And then, I got into the film that I'm now making, which I think really sort of encapsulates all that we've uncovered. I've read every study, every trial ever done of every childhood vaccine that's used in America, probably the same vaccines you're using in Croatia or very close. And the one thing I would say is this: what we now know is that not one single vaccine that we give our children in America ever was tested for safety, meaning the double-blind placebo-based trial. This is where one group gets a drug, the other group gets something that's safe but looks just like the drug. If it's a pill, it's a sugar pill. If it's an injection, it's a saline injection. So you test the two, one group gets one and one gets the placebo, and then you track them over time to see, are there any different health outcomes over several years? Usually these studies go on. Who has more cancer? Who has more diabetes? Who has more autism? Things like that. Those studies should have been done to establish safety. What we have uncovered is that not one single childhood vaccine in America ever went through a double-blind placebo-based trial to establish safety, which means you cannot say that they're safe, at least not based on the science. You can assume they're safe, you can make robust statements, but they've never been scientifically proven to be safe. So that's my background. I'm sure you can ask me more from there.